At this time, we'll proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance, but we have a special guest with us this evening, and Commissioner McNeely. Oh, well, there he goes. Commissioner McNeely. Would you please introduce him?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We have a live scout with us, Jackson Swicegood from Troop 363 at New Salem United Methodist is with us. He's trying to complete his citizenship in the community badge, and we'd love to have him come up and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thanks, sir. Well, there are no presentations this evening or appointments before the board. We do have a public hearing, and at this time, Mr. Russ Rogerson and Chris, I don't know who's going to be doing the talking. Okay, so Chris, you will go ahead and tee up this public hearing for economic development incentive for Project Blue Ribbon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Russ Rogerson and myself, we'd like to thank you for allowing us to present before you this evening and allowing us to talk to you about Project Blue Ribbon and their potential plans, what they like to do here in Iredell County. Iredell County Economic Development Corporation is proud to announce Project Blue Ribbon's potential plans to expand and update their existing manufacturing facility located in Mooresville, North Carolina. They've been operating in Mooresville for many years now and have completed previous expansions during their time here, growing substantially. Details of the company and their manufacturing cannot be disclosed at this time, but we will disclose more information at a later date when we announce their name. They do plan on adding 50,000 plus square feet to their current facility. The new expansion will allow them to add a new production line in the expanded portion of their facility, plus an additional production line within the existing portion of their facility, and then add additional workspace for the growing workforce. This project anticipates to create 141 new full-time positions and generate $47,584,000 in new tax investment over the next 5 years. In accordance to the Iredell County Industrial Development Incentive Program, we are requesting a tax grant-back incentive be granted to Project Blue Ribbon for 6 years, totaling up to $985,000, which averages to approximately $164,200 per year. On behalf of Iredell County Economic Development, I want to thank you for your consideration in this matter and answer any questions you may have for us at this time.
All right. Any questions? I do have one. Do you have an average of the hourly wage?
They will average just over $48,000 per year on their 141 new jobs.
So, that is above the county average a good bit.
Yeah.
This project also will have some state support behind it with a building reuse grant and a 1NC grant, which is not typical for the south part of the county to get a 1NC, but this one, because of the merits, the investment, the new jobs, and the wages, we were able to obtain a 1NC grant for this project.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mr. Younger. Any further questions? All right. Do we have anyone that signed up? Okay, I don't hear that anyone has signed up. I'll go ahead and open this public hearing and ask if anyone in the audience would like to be heard on this matter. Seeing and hearing none, I will close this public hearing and inquire as to whether there is a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve an economic incentive up to $985,000 over a 6-year period based on this company's investment of $47,584,000 in Iredell County, and contingent upon a contract being executed within 180 days.
A motion by Commissioner McNeely. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Younger, Mr. Rogerson, thank you very much for your and your team's efforts to bring high-quality businesses to Iredell County and to support the expansion of our current businesses.
It's our pleasure, and we enjoy working with you all and appreciate your support.
All right, go out and make this blue ribbon famous, like I said the last time.
Okay. Thank you to this board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We will now proceed to item 8 on the agenda, administrative matters. These are all matters that we reviewed in our pre-agenda meeting at 5 o'clock, immediately preceding this meeting. That is a meeting, by the way, that is open to the public, and people are invited to attend that as well to hear us discuss these matters, which are primarily technical in nature and can be disposed of by consent. So I would ask our county manager, Beth Jones, to please tee them up and summarize those.
Thank you, Chairman Mallory. And just for the record, we do have one adjustment to the agenda, and I'll go ahead and note that before I read it out under administrative matters. But that is to add item 8.9 under administrative matters, which is the distribution of information packet in preparation for the winter retreat.
Okay. We'll just treat that as a motion. If one of us will make that motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Yes, okay. Motion made. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. The first item is a request from Partners Behavioral Health Management to adopt a resolution in support of Partners as the county's choice for local management entity managed care organization. The second is a request from Planning and Development to consider calling for a public hearing on February the 19th, 2019, in regard to a request by Stony Ridge Properties, LLC, to release zoning and subdivision jurisdiction to the town of Mooresville. A request from ECOM for approval of a Memorandum of Agreement with Carteret County to serve as an inland backup for 911 communication services. A request from Tax Administration to present the report of unpaid taxes that are liens on real property and set the advertising date for March 20th, 2019. A request from Tax Administration to appoint Susan Warren and Kelly Roper as Deputy Tax Collectors pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 105-349F to a term ending June 30th, 2021. A request from Finance Department for approval of Budget Amendment number 27 to move the Risk Management Insurance position from the Finance Department to the Human Resource Department. There's no new money for this one. It's just transferring that position from one department to another. There is a request from the Finance Department for approval of Budget Amendment number 28 to appropriate the second year of a 3-year technology lease payment to Iredell Statesville Schools. This is in the amount of $900,000, and this is money that has already been set aside and budgeted, and this is to allow for the disbursement of that payment. A request from the clerk to the board for approval of minutes from the meeting on January the 15th, 2019. And then the final item is the distribution of information packet in preparation for the the winter retreat, which is scheduled for February the 15th and 16th.
All right. Any further discussion on those items? Is there a motion?
Motion. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Vice Chairman Bowles to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those like sign. Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to item 9, announcement of vacancies occurring on boards and commissions. The City of Statesville Board of Adjustment, ETJ Representative David Amon has resigned effective January 4th, 2019. His 3-year term was going to expire in 6 months, and we appreciate his service. So that position will be announced, and we will be considering that appointment at our next meeting 2 weeks from now. Also have the Board of Equalization and Review. Just a little bit of explanation about this board. Many of you may have received greetings from the county in your mailbox on Monday probably, indicating how much your net worth has probably increased based on revaluation.
Congratulations.
Yep. And now we want to share in your good fortune. So if you don't agree with that assessment of your property, you have an opportunity within 30 days to of receiving that to file an appeal. That appeal is heard by the Board of Equalization and Review, consisting of 6 individuals, of which we do have 6 volunteers that have served previously, and it is helpful to have folks who have had a long view and experience in reviewing these claims. If you don't remember, the process of the revaluation is very detailed, very intense, and it is one that is driven by fair market value, and that whole process has been reviewed by our tax assessor's office for the last year, and they have done a bang-up job of being able to provide those assessments on time and in compliance with the statutory requirements. So, but nonetheless, it's a surprise to some folks, and they like some explanation, and that's part of this process, because they do look at how did that valuation come about, what was the grounds for the increase, and people have an opportunity to bring to light additional information that perhaps was not considered by the staff. So there are 6 individuals. I don't think I have to read the ones that have indicated that they would serve. But if there's anyone in the community that would like to serve, please visit our website. You can get a copy of the application and complete that and return it to our staff, and you will be added to the mix as we appoint those individuals 2 weeks from now. Okay, moving on to item 10, appointments to boards and commission. We have one appointment to fill a position for the ETJ alternate on the Town of Troutman Planning Board. The chairman, Leighton Getzinger, resigned effective December 31st. And at their December 13th, 2018 meeting, the Troutman Town Council nominated the ETJ alternate, Barry General, to fill Mr. Getzinger's unexpired term. And we have several applicants, Grace Beasley, Carlton Joyce, Brent Tedder, all have volunteered, all qualified, and we appreciate their willingness to serve, but we can only choose one. And so at this time, is there a nomination?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a nomination that we appoint Barry General to fill Getzinger's unexpired term, moving from the alternate to the unexpired term of Getzinger. And also the Town of Troutman Council has nominated Grace Beasley to move into the alternate position that Mr. General would vacate.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Howe. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. We also have one appointment to the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. Michael Reif has volunteered to serve for the first time as a substance abuse professional according to the JCPC's bylaws. They require qualified individuals in certain positions on that council. And I would note that although these council positions do not require board approval, it has been sought as a validation of their selection process, and we're happy to oblige. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to appoint Michael Reif to the JCPC board.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Norman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. We thank all these folks that have volunteered to serve their time, which is gratis on these boards. Unfinished business. I don't believe we have any unfinished business coming before the commission. This is not a public comment period. That will be the second meeting, the next meeting of the month. I believe we may have one item of new business that
And
McNeely.
I'll go after Mrs. Jones' report, if that's okay.
Okay, well, we'll save that. No technical new business then. County Manager's report. Ms. Jones.
Very brief, just a reminder that our winter retreat is scheduled for Friday, February the 15th from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. and then again on Saturday, February the 16th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We will be having this retreat at our new public safety complex in our EOC. So I will have an opportunity to see that facility, and we'll be meeting there for those 2 days for our winter retreat. And as Chairman Mallory noted, the tax reappraisal notices were mailed out on February the 1st. For anyone that has any questions, please contact the tax office. Please be patient because there are several people that are calling and asking questions, so the lines may be busy. So please be patient as they get to those individuals. And anyone that chooses to file an appeal, it must be done within 30 days of the date on the notice.
And county commissioners don't have a thing in the world to do with your valuations. For future reference, we have a 30-day appeal process. To announce, we did go into closed session for a matter relative to economic development. Nothing to report on that. We also had discussions relative to attorney-client issues, and nothing to report on that either. Prior to adjourning, the only thing that stands between us and adjourning is some comments that Commissioner McNeely would like to make for the record.
Well, this will be brief. I know, Chairman, we talk about the Mallory minute. This is going to be the McNeely moment. So, just something that's really been on my heart for the last few days. And it's far away from us, but yet it's closer than you think. The state of New York, their governor and their legislature, passed the Reproductive Health Act and celebrated it very enthusiastically. And basically, it allows a child, a baby, a human, to be aborted all the way up to the time of delivery. Even saying that at delivery, if the mother chooses not for this child or guardian, whichever, that they will lay there and let it expire. And this has troubled me greatly. They said the reason they thought they needed to do this was they was afraid that there was in the air a chance that Roe versus Wade may be overturned, and they wanted to be progressive in what the people of the state of New York wanted. And I feel sorry for the people of the state of New York if this is how they choose to value life. To me, this is an incredibly sad statement on the United States of America and the people that live inside this land, if this is how we feel. And I think anybody that even thinks, whether you be pro-choice or pro-life, to have a baby be delivered and then murdered, there's no way they can justify that. There's no way they can, in any form, think that that is what God intended or any law. And part of this legislation also took abortion from being possibly a criminal act, which they had in their penal code, to where now it is not even listed anywhere in any of their codes as being any kind of a violation of any law. And the only reason I bring it up in Iredell County, in Statesville or Mooresville or whatever in North Carolina, is every day our rights, our freedoms are bombarded and constantly under attack. And I pray that y'all pray for your leaders in the state of North Carolina. And I pray you pray for the leaders in the state of New York. And I pray God forgives them. But mainly I pray that this state never considers anything close to what was passed by the governing bodies of the state of New York. But I want you to ponder, because it could very easily happen. And without a watchful eye on your elected officials, there is no freedoms. And that includes this body here. So we're mindful. And I hope we're in a constant prayer that the good Lord will guide us. And that's all I got to say. I will say on a lighter note, go Pack.
Well, thank you, Commissioner McNeely. I'm glad that you've clarified that a moment is technically more than a minute. So, but it's well worth the discussion. And the fortunate thing in these United States is we have a division of power within a republic, and we have a court system that can review and determine whether or not states' laws that have been passed are in fact unconstitutional, infringements on the right to life, not just liberty and speech and assembly, but a very basic right. So I'm sure that we haven't heard the last of that debate.
I pray.
And we obviously haven't had to deal with that in this little corner of the world. But we got to be aware of what's going on around us. So,
I just wanted to say that I would hope and pray that we would make adoptions more easy in this country than abortions. You know, I have 5.
Bless it.
To listen to a description of people taking parts out of a woman that was alive and viable is unacceptable in this country. There are parents in this country, or people that would want to be parents that can't because children are being aborted. Just my opinion, not this board's opinion. I have 5 children that are not my biological children. Unacceptable.
anything further? Is there a motion to adjourn?
To move.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned.